Almost every month, nakakarinig tayo ng mga kapatid natin at kamanggagawa na nauunang umuwi na sa Panginoon. Marami sigurong nagugulat na anghel because they are surprised na makarating sila ng langit nang hindi pa siguro time. The question of disease and sickness is not only a question for unbelievers. This is also a big question, not only for Christians but also for pastors and leaders. Malaking tanong sa atin yun. Tinatanong natin bakit yung sakit ng unbeliever ay sakit din ng believer. Marami man tayong mga doctors. Sa Bible League po, our board of director was one of the best heart surgeon sa heart center. And then isang araw, mayroong lumapit sa kanya, "Doc, bakit ba pag aakyat ako ng hagdan sa building, nagpapalpitate yung heart ko? Ano ang aking problem? Ano ang gagawin ko? Mag-climb lang ako ng 2 floors, nagpapalpitate na ang heart ko. What should I do?" Ang sabi niya. Well, ang sabi ni Doc, madali lang yan. Huwag kang gumamit ng hagdan, use the elevator. So still, malabo pa rin ang answer. But praise God, this evening, we are all blessed to be with us. A very good doctor who can be our friend na magsasabi sa atin ng totoo kung ano ang nagaganap sa katawan ng tao pag tayo ay nagkakasakit. We have a friend na pwedeng magpaliwanag sa atin ano ang pwede nating gawin so that humaba pa ang life natin on earth. When John Wesley was dying, he said, "The Lord gave me a message and a horse to deliver the message. Now that I have killed the horse, I can no longer deliver the message." Very concerned natin ito sa mga pastor tayo. We want to serve the Lord longer. But kung napatay na natin yung horse, yung body na ito, paano pa tayo makapag-serve? And therefore tonight, our gathering is very important, very relevant. It is a God-given occasion for all of us tonight. Our decision of coming here tonight could be one of the best decisions na ginawa natin sa ating mga buhay. Our speaker today was a consistent honor student, and he graduated as valedictorian of his class in the College of Medicine. Now the cancer, according to him, the cancer of his mother triggered his interest in the field of integrative medicine, where he trained in several prestigious training institutions, both in the United States and in Germany. Our speaker tonight has trained in the Institute of Electroacupuncture in Davao in Munich, and learned homotoxicology in Baden, Germany, and also a member of the International Society of Homotoxicology and Homeopathy. He also had his training in the International Biological Research Institute in Reno, Nevada, and a member of the American College in the Advancement of Medicine. A diplomate of the International Board of Clinical Metal Toxicology, where he passed his diplomate examination cum laude in Jakarta, Indonesia. A founding member of the Philippine College of Integrative Medicine and Homotoxicology. A member of the Philippine Accreditation Board for the Practice of Homeopathy and Homotoxicology Department of Health, simply called as PITA. Highly esteemed and respected by his colleague, and is considered the country's dean of the College of Integrative Medicine. But by the grace of God, also a fellow servant in the gospel, a doctor and a farmer by heart, Friends, tonight let us all welcome, with the blessings of the Lord, Dr. Floro M. Camenforte, Jr.
Thank you so much, Pastor Romy, for that very kind introduction. Since I arrived this morning, had lunch, and even when I arrived at this venue tonight, I could feel the warmth of the Christian welcome here in Davao. And I just hope that I could feel the same warmth after I conclude my talk, because many don't like me anymore after I tell them what to do, not to do, what to eat and not to eat. At the outset, please allow me to thank Pastor Ezra for the invitation for me to be here. And of course, I don't know how to call it, for the invitation, for having me here. It's indeed an honor and a privilege for me to stand before you, and also an opportunity for me to be able to share with you my advocacy of educating people, so to empower you so that you could take control of your own health and not be too much dependent on what your doctors are saying. At this point, I would like to make it clear that I am not a Seventh-day Adventist, although I'll be talking like one. Food has nothing to do with our salvation. You could eat pork, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day and still go to heaven if you have the blood of Jesus. But you will surprise the angels by your early presence there. Nga nung naanamang ka diri, nga daghang pa may trabaho unon sa Davao. It's no less, no more but the blood. It's by grace through faith alone. Sola gratia, that we go to heaven. The information that I'll be sharing with you tonight is based on clinical trials and scientific studies. It's all backed up by 33 years of experience in the clinics as a doctor. But most importantly, it is based on biblical principles. 2 Timothy 3:16 states that all Scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable. I believe that the Bible is the very Word of God, that God not only created man, but He also had a book of instructions written, which contains all that the Creator wanted man, His creation, to know, all that man needed to know in order to live a healthy, happy spiritual life, a successful spiritual life. If it is the will of God for us to live life to the fullest, if we have been wonderfully and fearfully made by God, if by His stripes He has carried all our sickness and disease to the cross of Calvary, why is it that we Christians are just as sick as non-Christians? Why is it that more spiritual Christians are just as sick as those who are less spiritual? The sickness of the bishops and the pastors are the same sickness as those who only come to church during church anniversaries and Christmas parties. Could it be that Christians are too passive when it comes to sickness, accepting and enduring it without resistance? Could it be possible that this passivity is because we are fatalistic in our thinking? Or could it be possible that we are attributing sickness to sin or the will of God, when in reality the cause of that sickness might be our violation of some natural laws of God? Could it be possible that we Christians will not experience sickness? And we just sleep at the time, at the fullness of our time, just like our forefathers? Or could it be that we just don't want to acknowledge there is something that we are doing or not doing that is responsible for this illness? Instead, we blame outside forces like germs, heredity, fate, or destiny, and even blame God. Friends, if you know the cause of the illness, you will know how to prevent them. If you're already afflicted with a sickness or disease, you will know how to cure them without much medication. And this is the information that I would like to share with you tonight. At this point, I would like you to know that I have nothing against the practice of conventional medicine. In fact, I was trained in the conventional way. I have 2 children who are doctors as well. They wanted to follow my footsteps. I told them to train first in the best training hospitals in conventional medicine so that they could integrate their practice very well. My practice is called integrative medicine because we simply combine the best of conventional medicine and other modalities of treatment commonly called complementary or alternative medicine. Because I firmly believe that good medicine comes in many forms. But there are some points that we don't agree with what conventional medicine is telling us. Of course, I refer every tumor, especially suspicious of carcinoma, to a surgeon for surgery. And I thank God for advances in surgical procedures that saved a lot of lives. But I don't believe that chemotherapy alone or radiation therapy is the treatment for cancer, because there are some other alternative treatment for cancer with better results and less toxic. I was brought into this practice because my mom, an OB-gynecologist, had carcinoma, cancer of her uterus. After surgery, we were referred to an oncologist for chemotherapy. Having experienced the side effects of chemotherapy, my mother vehemently refused it. She was telling us, please allow me to die with my hair on. We really could not convince her to accept the chemo. Good that our surgeon was a believer in integrative treatment. We were referred to Manila for integrative treatment. My mom was told to live the longest 3 to 6 months if she will not undergo chemo. But because of integrative treatment or complementary alternative medicine, my mom is still alive until today, 19 years from the time that she was told that she will be dying in 6 months. It takes a convinced man to convince others. I too was diagnosed to have cancer in my stomach 14 years ago. And I thank my God I'm still alive and standing before you. There are things that we don't agree, like we were told in medical school that once you are hypertensive, you will be hypertensive for life. Have you gone to your cardiologist? Have you asked how long would you take your antihypertensive medication? They would usually tell you, you have to take it for life. Friends, it is not true. There is a cure for hypertension. We were told in medical school that once you are diabetic, you will be diabetic for life. You have to take your anti-diabetic medications because if not, you will suffer the consequences of an elevated blood sugar. The good news, friends, is that there is a cure for diabetes. We have removed more than 1,000 insulin-dependent diabetics in 1 month time. If they just follow some strict dietary recommendations and the information that I would like to share with you tonight. I had one pastor example from Davao, Pastora Rose Reyes. She was one of the pastors who attended the first Philippine Church Planting Institute conference in Cebu. I was one of their speakers. After I talked, Pastora Rose Reyes told me, "Doc, I am diabetic. My sugar is almost 16, in spite of the medications I am taking. Can I come with you to your clinic? I would like to get rid of my medication." I examined her. She followed strict dietary recommendations. I saw her 2 days ago in my Cebu clinic and showed me the result of her sugar from 15.9 or almost 16. It was already normal at 5.2 in 1 month time. This is just one of the samples of people who got well because of just a change of lifestyle. The big pharmaceutical companies has been trying to lower the values. When I was a medtech student, the normal blood sugar was 70 to 120. Of course, it was not so long ago. I graduated from med school in 1985. It was lowered to 70 to 115. After a decade as a doctor, it was lowered to 110. If you notice, your blood examination reference value now, it is 70 to 100. Who keeps on lowering the values? Research. Who is funding the research? The big pharmas who are selling this medication to lower your blood sugar. So that when you have a blood sugar of 101, your loving and caring doctor would tell you, "Sir, you already are borderline diabetic. You have to start to take your metformin." Since the doctor did not tell you what to do and what to eat and not to eat, the sugars just continue to rise. The next time you go there, it is increased to some milligrams or added another anti-diabetic medication. Then you will ask your doctor, "How long would I take this medication?" And the doctor would tell you, "You have to take it for life." Since you didn't change your lifestyle, your sugar shoot ups, then the doctor would tell you it's about time for you to inject yourself with insulin. I got a lot of patients coming to me, dependent on insulin for 35 years, 20 years. "Doctor, nahirapan na po ako. I don't want to be pricking myself 4 times a day. Test to here, inject in the morning, test again in the evening, inject again in the evening." Sabi niya, "Doktor, matigas na po yung yung tiyan sa katutusok. I would like to get rid of this insulin. Could you do something about this?" I said, "Yes, sir. Because your body has been wonderfully and fearfully made by God. It has the power to heal by itself, given the right environment for its healing." When I was a medtech student, the normal cholesterol level was 280. When I graduated from med school, it was lowered to 240. Now, if you look at your values, it should be less than 200. If you have a cholesterol of 201, your loving and caring doctor will give you statins. Statins that destroys your liver, causing liver cancer if you take it for a long time. It causes congestive heart failure if you take it for a long time, when the cholesterol is still normal. Don't worry about cholesterol. It's a friend. It's not an enemy. It's not the cause of heart attack and stroke. I have a cholesterol of 700 14 years ago. I'm still alive until now. The polar bears, they have a cholesterol of 1,200 milligrams per deciliter of blood when they are in hibernation. They have never been extinct, and they have not seen a single polar bear dying because of heart attack and stroke. That's why, in spite of lowering the cholesterol, billions of dollars has been spent. Heart attack and stroke still the #1 cause of death all over the world. Meaning they're barking on the wrong tree. It is not the cholesterol that is causing heart attack and stroke. I hope I could come another time and discuss it with you. How to prevent heart attack and stroke the natural way. It would be another hour of discussion. I was only given 45 minutes to talk to you. I have to make it fast so that I could entertain more questions later on. Autoimmune diseases. They said there is no cure for psoriasis. Friends, we have 100% cure for psoriasis. Autoimmune diseases, there is a cure because autoimmune disease is just toxicity in the system. There is nothing that could not be healed as long as we catch them early. Why am I so sure? Because it is what the Bible is saying. Praise the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all His benefits. He forgives all your sins and heals all your diseases. But there is no disease that could not be cured if only we give our bodies the right environment for its healing. In my 33 years as a doctor, I have found out there are only 3 causes of illness. And I would like to simplify that so it will be easy for you to understand. Number 1 is the absence of things that are supposed to be inside us. If they are not inside, it causes a lot of problems. It's what we call as cellular deficiency. Why is it that we lack these things that are vital to the normal function of our cells? Simply because we do not put in the right information, the right food that our body needs. What do you have for breakfast? Corned beef, spam, meatloaf, bacon, longganisa, danggit, hot dogs, with eggs, of course with coffee, with 8 o'clock, tang, whatever, for the children. Mag-snack sa office, hamburger, siopaw with soft drinks. Hindi uwi sa bahay dahil malayo yung work area sa bahay, kakain doon sa mga restaurant, adobong baboy with Coca-Cola or any soft drinks. Snack sa hapon, call, hate late, pizza, spaghetti, pansit. Pagod na sa gabi, hindi na magluto, daan sa Chooks to Go. Mayroong noodles with eggs, egg drop with instant noodles. No wonder many of us, in spite of the promises in the Word, are just as sick as non-Christians. Simply because we don't put in the right information inside us. If those are not right, doctor, what are we supposed to eat? Then what is right? If you have a Samsung phone, don't bring it to an Apple store for repair. If there is something wrong with you, you have to go back to who designed you and how you were designed. In the beginning, Genesis chapter 1, verses 27, 28, 29, God created man according to His image and likeness, male and female. He created them. God blessed them and said unto them, be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. He said, roll over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. He said, roll over. He did not say kill and fry the fish of the sea. He did not say kill the chicken and roast them. He said, pagharian ninyo sila. Hindi na kainin ninyo sila. They were not made for us to be eaten. We were given the highest form of intelligence so that we could govern them. Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it, they will be yours for food. Kailangan pa bang i-memorize yan? We were designed to only eat fruits and vegetables. I will not be discussing on pancreatic enzymes and gastric juices. It will be too technical for you to understand. But I know you will understand me if I will tell you on how our teeth were designed. Our teeth were designed to be flat, only 2 incisors, 2 canines, the rest are premolars and molars, because we were designed to bite and to grind. The animals that were designed to eat meat, all their teeth are long, they are pointed, and they are sharp. And all their set of teeth are canines. That's why dogs are called canines, foxes and wolves are canines, leopards, lions, and tigers are canines. They have very sharp teeth to tear and to swallow. They have jaws that moves up and down only, very powerful jaws. While our jaws were morphologically designed to grind, we could move our jaws sideways like sheep and goats and horses. We were designed to grind, not to tear. Our saliva has amylase to pre-digest the cellulose of the fruits and vegetables, while carnivores don't have, but their tummy, their gastric juice has proteases to digest animal proteins, but we don't have it. The pH, or the acidity of the stomach of carnivorous animals, is 1 to 2 with food, because the digestion of animal protein needs a lot of acid, while our stomach pH is only 3 to 4 with food. It's not too acidic, because you are not supposed to digest animal proteins. Since the digestion of animal proteins produces a lot of endogenous poisons, these carnivorous animals were designed with short bowels so that they could eliminate right away the byproduct of animal protein metabolism. Their bowel is only 1 to 2 times the length of their trunk. That's why if you feed your dog in 2 hours, it will poop. We were designed with bowels that is 10 to 12 times the length of our trunk, about 30 to 32 feet long. Mukaon ka og squid nga naay black ata for lunch, kinabukasan, when you move, hindi pa lalabas yung itim na yan. Doon pa sa next day. It's how long it transits your bowels. Imagine if you put in a lot of meat, a lot of fish, a lot of chicken, and you don't move it in 2 hours. You are causing a lot of toxicity, a lot of endogenous poisons. You are poisoning yourself. That's why colon cancer is now second to lung cancer all over the world. Simply because we don't put in the right information that is needed by the trillions of cells in your system. Every day na may utang ka, the body could no longer compensate. That's why they say life begins at 40. Life begins to deteriorate at 40. It's when you start to have pains in your joints. It's when you start to have your BP going up. You start to have glasses. I never thought that I will be wearing glasses. I was 42 when I noticed that every time I read the newspaper, it's becoming farther and farther. I was diabetic when I was 42. I was hypertensive with 8 stones in my gallbladder and liver cirrhosis because I was a heavy drinker. I could consume 24 bottles of beer in one setting because our family was the one bringing beer to the province of Eastern Samar. We have boats carrying all the San Miguel beers. The bodegas of San Miguel were ours. We have a 1% breakage allowance. If we have 10,000 cases, we were allowed 100 cases as breakage allowance, and sometimes only 30 cases were broken. We have 70 cases for drinking. Free. I smoked 3 packs of Marlboro a day. I was in drugs. I was always in the derbies and casinos every time I was in the city. I never thought I will be a vegan. The only vegetable I know was the ketchup in my pork chop. If I put a lot of ketchup, that was the vegetable I know. But God is a good God. He changed my life. When people were eating right, they were living long. Adam was 930, Noah was 950. Man corrupted the ways of the earth. God was so angry at humanity that he even regretted creating man. He destroyed all of mankind, flood, and the first thing that God told Noah, aside from those that I allowed you to eat, now you can eat anything. You can eat fish, you can eat pork, you can eat beef, you can eat frogs, you can eat cockroaches, you can eat lobsters and crocodiles and anything. But if you notice, there was a drastic reduction in the longevity of people. When there was a change in the dietary pattern, there was never a change in the morphologic makeup of man. 950 si Noah, Shem was 600. 314, 304, 280, 180. Abraham died at 175. Sarah at 126, 120. Moses died 119. Joshua died 110. Until the psalmist David said, 70 will I give you if you have strength 80. When God said, my spirit will dwell with one for 120 years, what is the average life expectancy of Filipinos? 65 years old for males, 70 years old for females. The devil has stolen from us decades from our productive lives. Simply because we allow the devil to destroy us. Bakit pinayagan daw ng Panginoon na kumain ng mga pagkain na nakasira sa tao? Bakit din pinayagan ng Panginoon ang diborsyo? When the design of marriage in the Garden of Eden was God has put together, let no man separate or put asunder. Why is it that divorce was allowed? Even Jesus said in the book of Matthew, you could divorce your wife for a reason because of your hardness of heart. But I know that all of you will agree with me that in the design of marriage, divorce was never been part of it, was never a part of it. Just when God has designed us eating fish and all kinds of meat has never been a part of our design. These natural laws we violate. That's why we have a lot of problems. We don't eat right. I only eat fruits and vegetables. And most of the time, when I'm in my house, I eat them raw so that I could benefit from the nutrition and the enzymes in uncooked vegetables. When I heard that there was rice crisis in our country, I decided not to eat rice so that I will not be part of the problem. I only eat what I grow in my garden. I only eat when I'm hungry. I eat the most twice a day. And I do an intermittent fast. Late breakfast and an early dinner. Our body is only made up of 4 basic components. 72% of who you are is water. If you drink the right amount of water at the right time and the right kind of water, you will remove 72% of your problems. Many of you are hypertensive. You are not sick. You are just thirsty. Most of you have hypertension simply because you do not drink the right amount of water. Because our bodies has a mechanism in trying to conserve the water. It's what we call as the renin-angiotensin mechanism. If you lack water, this angiotensin mechanism is stimulated to constrict the renal arteries so that there will be less blood going into the kidneys, there will be less production of urine to conserve the water. But this angiotensin 2 does not only constrict your renal arteries, it also constricts your whole arterial system. That's why your blood pressure goes up. What's the problem? You are not sick. You are not supposed to take your losartan, which has been found out just 2 months ago to cause a lot of cancers in people today. Maraming may cancer dahil iniinom nating mga gamot. And it will be withdrawn from the market very, very soon. Many cardiologists are already shifting to other antihypertensive medication because of the research that this medication is causing a lot of cancer formation in the system. You drink the right amount of water, you hydrate yourself, you inhibit the renin-angiotensin mechanism, your blood pressure just goes down 1 to 2 months after drinking the right amount of water. Doctor, what is the right amount? If you are a male, you need at least 4 liters of water a day, minimum. The more, the better. If you are a female, you need at least 3 liters of water a day. What kind of water, doctor? There are a lot of waters in the market, different kinds of water. They only make the water expensive. The same water, but the best water that you can drink is your mineral water or spring water. Because almost all of purified water are acidic because they have already removed all the minerals by reverse osmosis and other stages of purification. Mineral water or spring water would be the best. When is the best time to drink water, doctor? The best time to drink water is when you wake up in the morning. But be sure to brush your teeth first before you drink or eat anything. If you notice when you wake up in the morning, there's a bad breath from your mouth, is the putrefaction activity of the bad bacteria on the food debris that was not removed when you brush your teeth that evening. You don't have to put in the bad bacteria inside before you drink anything. So when you wake up, you pee. After you pee, you brush. After you brush, you could start to drink your 2 or 3 glasses of water. The best time to drink water is when you wake up, before eating, and in between meals. Do not drink water after you eat. Tayo mga Pilipino, mahilig po tayo sa full tank. Gusto natin palaging full tank. After eating a mountain full of rice na pwede mong mataguan, pag may kalaban ka sa party, you could hide on the rice in your plate. Busog na, iinuman pa ng maraming tubig para talagang full tank. When you drink a lot of water after eating, you dilute the gastric acid that is used to digest the food. Imagine buying a muriatic acid and putting water. It will not be as effective as you use the pure muriatic acid to clean your toilet bowl. Drink only half glass of water after you eat just to cleanse your esophagus and to lubricate the digestive process. You don't have to drink right away after having a full meal. You drink an hour or better 2 hours after and in between meals. Drink your portion in the morning. Do not be drinking a lot in the evening so that you will not be disturbed in your sleep. 0.001% of who you are is oxygen. 5 minutes without oxygen, you'll die. If you have less oxygen in your system, cancer thrives in an oxygenated state. How would you increase your oxygen? If you don't want to exercise, you move. Walking at least 5,000 steps a day will keep you from being sedentary. But better if you could move at least 10,000 steps or about 2 hours of walking. Sunlight is important. Sunlight controls your weight. Sunlight controls your blood pressure. Sunlight controls your sugar. Sunlight controls your calcium metabolism. And vitamin D2, D3, which is formed when you expose your skin to sunlight, is the #1 anti-cancer today. The research would tell you. That's why in my 33 years of practice as a doctor, seeing a lot of cancer patients, I have never seen a farmer with cancer. Maski anong hirap, pag ang tatay nang may sakit, ibebenta yung kalabaw, ipreprenda yung lupa, madala lang yung tatay sa ospital o sa doktor. In 33 years, I have never seen a fisherman who is only exposed to sunlight with cancer. Sunlight prevents cancer. Most of our women are told not to expose themselves to sunlight because it will make them look old. My wife could not leave our house without her umbrella. Marami pa ang mga appliances with all these numbers. Sa buntag, butanaw sa bintana, is the sun intense? 70. Merong mga numero yung, ano ba yun? SF something. Pag medyo tag-ulan, SF 20. SF ba yun? S something, I don't know. I could only see the numbers in the dressing table. They were told not to expose themselves to sunlight. That's why many have cancers today. Simply because they were told to keep out of sunlight. Many have cancer because they keep on lowering the cholesterol. So you lower the protective capacity of your body. Many at a very young age loses their libido simply because they were given statins to lower their cholesterol. Your sex hormones are produced from your cholesterol. That's why I don't lower my cholesterol, because I don't want my sex life to be affected. My cholesterol is 700. I want to be sexually active until 100 years old, just like Abraham. Sarah had a child when he was 90 ba yun, Pastor? 90? Sabi ka isang pastor, after Sarah, mayroon pang ibang anak si Abraham. He was more than 100 years old then. Men, if you don't use it, you lose it. Yung iba, pag ang mga misis ayaw na dahil kinupos na, kinupos. There is a solution to that. Virgin coconut oil. You put virgin coconut oil to the barangay chairman before it reports to the barangay hall. Put generously. Because I always, wala ba mga bata dito? At least lahat na ba 18 years old and above? Yung mga bata, tabunan yung tainga. One of the prescription for health, aside from sunlight, sex is very important for health. 3 times a week is the recommendation on the researches that were done. But I don't recommend 3 times a week, only twice a week, because that's the only number of times that I can do. I don't want to tell people to have 3 times a week when you only do twice a week. 2 times you'll be fine. When you have orgasm, you secrete a lot of cytokines that are anti-inflammatory. Most of degenerative diseases are inflammatory in nature. It also produces a lot of serotonin, or a feel-good hormone. You have to have orgasm, vigorous orgasm, to be able to produce such cytokines. Doctor, I am a spinster. Doctor, I'm a widow. What can I do? Exercise would be the next thing. Because vigorous exercise will produce serotonin, a lot of cytokines that are anti-inflammatory. You notice if you exercise, you feel good because of the serotonin that it produces. Sleep is important. It's not how long you sleep, it's when you sleep. You have to be in bed at 8:30. You have to be in deep sleep between 9 and 11 for you to regenerate and repair. Try to notice it. You sleep at 8:30, even if you sleep only for 4 hours, compared to the times when you sleep at 2 o'clock early morning. Even if you have the same number of hours, you are not as refreshed as when you sleep early. You want to look young, you want to live long, you want to repair and regenerate, sleep is very important. Macronutrients and your micronutrients. So water, oxygen, sunlight. Macronutrients is your carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Any imbalance in these things causes a lot of problems. micronutrients, your minerals and trace elements. Calcium is the biggest, 22% of who you are. 72% water, 22% calcium, 94% of who you are is only water and calcium. The remaining 6% is a combination of these small things. Any absence, any lack or imbalance or excess of any of these things causes trouble. Water, exercise, sunlight, sleep, sex, and a vegetarian diet will lead you to a life that is healthy, happy, and long. Second cause of illness, the presence of things that are not supposed to be inside us. If they are inside, it causes a lot of problems. What are these? Chemicals. Chemicals from what? From your food enhancers. Monosodium glutamate, magic sarap, ginisa mix, artificial flavors, preservatives like nitrites or salitre in your corned beef, in your hot dog, in your ham, in your bacon, in your longanisa. It's very, very carcinogenic to our stomach or to our colon and also cause a lot of damage to the liver. No wonder many of us have allergies, many of us are irritable, many of us are chronically fatigued simply because we have a lot of toxins in our system. Artificial flavors and colors. Chemicals from prescription and recreational drugs that we are taking. You have seen the video. The number one killer in America is conventional medicine. The drugs you are taking benefits a lot. It is very beneficial in acute cases, but it has no effect on chronic degenerative diseases. When we were in medical school, we were not taught how to cure hypertension. We were taught how to lower blood pressure and to maintain it that way. We were taught how to lower blood sugar, but we were never taught how to cure diabetes. Because the big pharmas that influence our curriculum doesn't want people to get well. They're in an industry that would survive if people are sick and that they stay this way. Imagine if you eat right, all of you will be eating right. You will be removing all your hypertensive medications and all your anti-diabetic medications. There is no more business for the big pharmas. Prescription drugs has a lot of side effects. Recreational drugs, shabu, destroys the brain and the liver badly. Heavy metals, mercury, lead, cadmium. Where do you get mercury? From the pesticides and the insecticides we use in our agriculture. Mercury from the lipsticks you wear. Mercury from the pelagic fishes that you eat. Bulinaw, tuna, blue marlins, tangigi, tamban, galunggong, name it. All the pelagic fishes are very high in mercury. Cadmium from smoking. We have all the plastics you could even inhale. You read the newspapers today, 52,000 microplastics are inhaled by every human being in a year. It causes a lot of health concerns. We are living in a very toxic environment. Microbes that are not supposed to be there, germs, pathogenic bacteria, pathogenic viruses, parasites, fungus. It causes a lot of problems. Human papillomavirus, chronic inflammation from a human papillomavirus infection causes cervical carcinoma. Chronic inflammation from hepatitis B and hepatitis C virus causes liver cancer, 15 to 20 years from the time of diagnosis. Chronic inflammation from sleep deprivation. People working in call centers, they make their night day. Chronic sleep deprivation causes a lot of inflammation. That's why if you notice, there are rumors of sex orgies in those working in call centers. high incidence of AIDS, HIV, in workforce making their night days. High incidence of sexually transmitted diseases. Why? Because the only thing that the body knows to control the inflammation is to have sex. It is a call from the inside. Chronic inflammation causes cancer formation. The absence of things that are not supposed to be there, or the presence of things that are not supposed to be there, it causes a lot of trouble. The third and the most important one is the influence of our soul, or our emotion, our intellect, our mind. I got this when I was fighting my own health concern. I have been to every cancer center in the world, learning how to treat cancer. But 14 years ago, I was diagnosed to have stomach cancer. I was trying to heal myself. I could not heal myself. In my desperation one day, I just decided to surrender my life to Jesus. I said, Lord, if you want to bring me home, don't let me suffer the pain of cancer. I have seen too much pain. I have been invited to homes of cancer patients if I could see them because they are bedridden. They're in too much pain that most of them would tell me, Doctor, please give me a medicine that would kill me because my husband don't like to kill me. I could not bear it anymore. Lord, let me not suffer the pain of cancer. If you want to use me, I know that it's very easy for you to heal me. That's why a single call from Pastor Ezra, if I could come on June 7, I could not say no if there is no conflict in my schedule because it is what I told God. I know that you could heal me. If you want to use me, it's very easy for you to heal me. That's why I'm here with you today. But during that morning, I asked God a very silly question. Lord, why is it that I have all these problems when you have loved me? You have blessed my life. You have favored me with a lot of good things. Good family, good house, good food, good job, good friends. Every time I want to go out of the country, I could go out. I could eat any kind of food I would like to eat. Why is it that I have all these problems? Why these crazy people walking the streets? Why are they perfectly well physically? Kaning mga buang, nakita na ba mo buang nagkalibanga? Mukaon sa basura, mo inom sa kanal. I am now 58 years old, I have yet to see one. Lord, nga naman, why? If I could find the key to their wellness, it could help me and it could help a lot of my patients. The impression that God gave me that morning when I was asking Him the silly question was, they're perfectly well physically because their world is not your world. At first, I could not understand what He was trying to impress upon me. But in that morning, I was in my devotion. I was in Matthew chapter 6. But instead of starting from verse 1, my eyes was led to that final verses in chapter 6, which says that who could add a single day to his life by worrying? To be able to understand the context of the verse that God gave me, I read the verses before that and the verses after, and I know that all of you are familiar with these verses. Do not worry about the food you eat. Look at the birds in the sky. They neither sow nor reap, they do not store their furs in barns. But yet my heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than these birds? Do not worry about the clothes you wear. Look at the lilies in the field. They neither toil nor spin. Today they are here, tomorrow they are thrown into the fire. But not even Solomon in his splendor is clothed like one of them. The next verse really hit me hard. Only pagans worry about these things. I have been in church every Sunday. I was at every Bible study. I was once the president of the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International. A lot of church planting activities, I was going with our pastor. But in the eyes of God, I was a pagan simply because I could not trust Him for my life and for my healing. Who could add a single day to his life by worrying? But seek ye first the kingdom and its righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow would take care of itself. Today has enough cares of its own. You know, when I read that, I said, Lord, thank you. Napakadali pala gamutin ang cancer kong ito. Kaya pala ang buang way sakit, because even if the kilo of NFA rice would be 10,000 per kilo, they would not worry at all. Pag masipa mo yung rice dispenser mo at maingay na, we starts to worry, where would our next meal would come from? They have families they left behind. They don't worry about their future. They have no bills to worry about. They walk in dangerous places with all these empty plastic bottles, walking around in dangerous places where people are drunk, drugged. They sleep where the sun sets. And when they sleep like logs. I have a lot of patients, pastors, their problem, doctor, I could not sleep. I was one time going to my clinic. I was passing through Roas Boulevard on my way to my Ayala Labang clinic in Manila. I got a call from a pastor friend. Doc, my wife has a problem. Yung ko, Pastor, usay problema ni Mrs. 2 weeks na, nga dili siya katuog. Our driver is also a Christian, was listening to our conversation. Tapos sabi ko sa kanya, doon sa mga natutulog na mga street people, doon sa gilid ng Roas Boulevard, sabi ko, mabuti pa yung mga tao na yan, ang sarap ng tulog. Yung asawa ng pastor, 2 linggo nang hindi makatulog. They sleep like clouds. Kaya pala, ang mga siraulo na ito ay walang sakit. Because their world is a worry-free world. Their world is a fear-free world. Kaya pala wala akong nakita na siraulo na nag-stroke. Pero pastor na nag-stroke, napakadami. Doktor na nag-stroke, ang dami. Wala akong siraulo nakita na halos dapat putulin ang paa dahil walang pambili ng maintenance medication for yung diabetes. Nakita na ba kayo ng siraulo na may fungating carcinoma? Because no one would bring him to the hospital. No one cares for them. I have yet to see one. Have you read in the papers, seen on TV or heard on the radio na mayroong siraulo na namatay because of dengue, hemorrhagic shock syndrome? I have not seen one. Pinagpiestahan ng lamok na may dengue. Bakit wala silang mga sakit? Their world is a worry-free world. Their world is a fear-free world. The next impression that God gave me that morning was, you need not be crazy to be healthy. But you could live in the same world that they live in. And I have found that world. I surrendered my life completely to Jesus. I removed all my medications. I said, Lord, I would not check on my sugar again. I will not check on my blood pressure again. I will not check on my CT scan again to see if my tumor is still there. I know that you love me. I know that you care for me. I know that by His blood, He has carried all my sickness and disease to the cross of Calvary. That's why I stand before you. I could sleep well. I could poo well. Sometimes tinatanong ako ng mga kaibigan ko, sometimes this is the quarrel that I have with my wife and my children, all of us being doctors. Every time I feel bad, I keep on vomiting, I don't feel good. All I have to do is to sleep. When I wake up in the morning, I'm fine again. Then I have a chorus from my children and my wife. Why not have yourself examined? Those laboratory diagnostic procedures has been given by God for us to monitor our health. I usually would tell them, please, it is between me and my God. Allow me to live this life free from the fear of numbers. I remember when we were struck by Yolanda, there were a lot of NGOs that went to help us. In one of the barangays, there was an old woman washing her clothes. Dumaan ng kaibigan niya, yung kumadre niya, Madi, may mga doktor, yung mga German doctors, yung medica, nandoon sa barangay hall. Libre yung consultation, libre yung gamot. Punta tayo doon. Tinanggal yung soap suds sa kamay niya, pumunta doon sa health center where the doctors were. When it was her time to be taken sa blood pressure niya, it was 240 over 140. Nung nalaman ng matanda, biglang nag-collapse. Was brought to the emergency room. That old poor woman died on arrival when she was washing her clothes. Many of us fears numbers. There is someone who loves us, someone who cares for us. That's the only time that I understood what Solomon was saying, that a cheerful heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken or a crushed spirit dries up the bones. What crushes our spirits? It's our worries. It's our fears, our stresses, our anxieties, bitterness, hate, negative thoughts. Gwapo kayong pagka-translate sa Bisaya. Ang nadugmok na espiritu, anay-ay na kamatayon. Dahil kung hindi na nagproproduce ng blood ang imong bone marrow, slowly, you will lose your life because our life is in the blood. Friends, if you eat right, you put in the right information into your mouth, and you think right, you believe right, there is no reason for you to be sick. And if you are sick, there is no reason for you not to heal. Because your body has been wonderfully and fearfully made. It has the power to heal by itself. God provided a way to a healthy, happy, spiritual life. Now, it is up to each and every one of us to accept God's abundant provision. You are the author of your sickness. You are the author of your wellness. If you will not find time to be healthy, brothers and sisters, you will be finding time to be sick. John 13:17 says, if you know these things, happy are ye if you do them. 2 Corinthians 7:1. Therefore, since we have these promises, dear friends, let us purify ourselves from everything that contaminates body and spirit, perfecting holiness out of reverence for God. Before that, he said, come out from among them, touch no unclean thing, and I will receive you. Let us purify ourselves from everything that contaminates the body and the spirit, perfecting holiness out of reverence for God. Eat right, think right, believe right. Finally, brethren, it's my prayer that in all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. Maraming salamat po.
Question and answer segment.
I am willing to answer every question. I'm willing to stay as long as you want me to stay.
Doc, you mentioned there are certain fish na medyo high sa mercury. Can you repeat those kinds of fish?
Leviticus 11 would tell you the kind of fish that we can eat. It must have scales and fins. The fish with scales are the fish that lives in the lower thermocline level of the ocean. They have scales to protect themselves from the pressure of gravity. These are the fish that are vegans. They only eat planktons and algae. But the fishes that lives in the upper level of the ocean, we call it the pelagic fishes, they eat each other. Yung gamay na bulinaw, kaunon sa dako-dakong bulinaw, ang dakong bulinaw, kaunon sa tamban, ang tamban, kaunon sa galunggong, ang galunggong, kaunon sa budlis, barilis, they eat each other. The number one pollutant of our ocean is the coal plants. They dump all the mercury to the oceans. It pollutes, it contaminates our pelagic fishes. Alam ng Panginoon na itong maisda na ito ay sisirain natin yung mundo natin. At the same time, these are carnivorous fishes. They are not supposed to be eaten by us. They are contaminated with mercury. And they are very high in purines. Sabi ng ibang pastor sa akin, Doktor, sabi ng Biblia, pag tinanggap mo ang isang pagkain na may pagpasalamat, lahat ito ay lininis na ng Panginoon. If you have problems with your arthritis, tinanggap mo yung tulingan na may pagpasalamat, bakit kinabukasan hindi ka pa rin makalakad? Probably you're quoting those verses in a different context. Even in the book of Romans, Paul was telling the Romans in the last verses of the book of Romans that those who are vegans are considered spiritually weak. Because if we want to earn our salvation by following the precepts of men, especially on dietary restrictions, you are considered spiritually weak because our salvation is no less, no more, is by grace alone through faith, not by following precepts of men or the laws that are made by men, especially when it comes to the food that we are not supposed to eat and those that we eat. So the fish that are living in the upper thermocline level as very contaminated with mercury, they are not supposed to be eaten by us. If you could not be a vegan, kung gahi kag di ka gusto maminaw sa giingon sa Ginoo, gusto ta mukaon og isda, you could eat fish as long as the fish is with scales and fins. Ang isda sa bato, at ang giingon sa amo na mga tilugon, mao ni ang hinlo na isda. You could cook it in any way you cook it. Lahat ng anything that crawls are not supposed to be eaten. Seafoods, anything that turns red when you cook. They are the scavengers of the ocean. They are very, very dirty for us to eat. Kaya if there is a drought, mayroong red tide. Red tide is nothing but mercury poisoning. Because there are a lot of concentrations of toxins. When you eat them, it will poison you. Shrimps, crabs, lobsters, your favorites, are not supposed to be eaten by us. There are meat that could be eaten, fowl that eats insects and grains, meaning you could have chicken. But I would advise you not to eat the broiler chicken because they are full of veterinary estrogens, full of toxin binders, full of larvicides. I was a poultry grower before Yolanda destroyed my farm. I was a contract grower of Magnolia. I know how we grow our chicken. Antibiotics should be withdrawn 28 days before harvest. But we don't withdraw our antibiotics because we don't want to lose. We are being paid per head that is harvested. There was a time that the barangay was complaining because of flies in my poultry. I have to tell Bemeg and San Miguel, soon, very soon, they will close my farm because of this problem. Bemeg told me, no worry, doctor. We will formulate a special feed for you because your poultry is not tunnel vent, it's still conventional. We will give you a different kind of formulation. True indeed, in our next grow, there was not a single fly in my poultry. Nagtanong ako sa technician, how come the flies did not come? He said, we put the larvicide in the feeds. Pagkain ng manok, pagtain niya, the larvicide is in the poo of the chicken. Every time the fly would come, it would kill the fly, it would kill the larva of the flies. That there were no flies in my poultry. But the larvicide is in the meat of your favorite chicken that you would like to eat every day. That's why many of our children are effeminate now. hindi nanganganak, dumadami. Because of veterinary estrogens. It affects the morals of our society. If we keep silent, we Christians, same-sex marriage will soon be approved in our country. Bakit nagkakaganon? Panahon ni Andes Bonifacio, panahon ng ating mga lolo, walang. Bakit ngayon napakarami? It's because of the cow's milk we are drinking. We are not supposed to drink cow's milk. That's the number one cause of breast cancers. If you read the China study by Dr. James Campbell, it's the biggest epidemiological study on cancer in China. 700,000 cancer patients. They wanted to know what was the cause of the cancers in China. The number one cause of reproductive tumors, breast cancer, uterine carcinoma, ovarian carcinoma, prostate cancers in males is because of the cow's milk they were drinking. Cow's milk has an amino acid casein, which is not needed by humans, and it's very inflammatory. Aside from the veterinary estrogens that is in the milk. You only drink milk when you are 1 day old to 3.5 years old. When your body is now mature to digest the food that you are supposed to eat, God removes the milk from the mother's breast because the child is no longer supposed to drink milk. But instead, we are giving our children cow's milk. No wonder we have a lot of allergies, we have a lot of coughing, we have a lot of problems. Doon sa amin, walang kabaw nga mudidi sa baka. I don't know there is sa Davao kung mayroong kabaw nga mudidi sa baka. Marami sa inyong umiinom ng anlin. Doktor, nasa TV, bakit ayaw, bakit bawal? Mas matalino pa ang baka, ang kalabaw kaysa inyo. Ang kalabaw, alam niya na yung gatas ng baka ay hindi maganda para sa kanya. Pero tayo, inom na inom ng gatas ng baka. Cow's milk are for cows, while mother's milk are for babies. They are not supposed to be taken by us. You could have beef, you could have deer, you could have lamb and goat. These are the only 4 kinds of meat that God allows if you are hard-headed to be eating animal proteins. Doktor, napakahirap maging vegetarian. I am not a pure vegan. I am an ovo-lacto-vegan. I eat eggs, I have some cheese in my salads, but I don't eat meat and fish anymore. But if you want to eat fish and meat, I said, choose the clean ones. But your meat and your rice should only be 20% of your plate. 80% of your plate should be fruits and vegetables. But if you really want to heal, you are a diabetic, you are in insulin injection, doctor, I would like to remove my insulin. Eat raw, no rice, no bread, no cooking. Raw fruits and vegetables. In 1 month time, you could remove your insulin. Eat them raw. Doctor, how could I eat them raw? You either blend them or you juice them, or you eat them as salad. You buy a very good blender. You buy a very good juicer. Carrot, sinkamas, cucumber with pineapple. Sweet beets with sinkamas, with cucumber, with grapes, or whatever sweetener you would like to have. Or you remove the stalk of your pitsay, remove the stem of your kamuti tops or kangkong, remove the stem of your malunggay, put it in your blender, put a little banana, or put a little papaya, put a little mango to sweeten it. You have an uncooked breakfast, or you call it green smoothies. If you do that for a month, you are a diabetic. Slowly, check on your sugar. Slowly taper on the number of international units you are injecting. In a month time, you could remove your insulin. You are hypertensive. You eat raw, vegan diet. You drink the right amount of water. In 1 to 2 months' time, you will notice your blood pressure will be going down. Start to cut your antihypertensive medication into half until such time that you could remove it. There's always a cure for every problem. Asthma. Asthma is very easy. It's not a lung problem. If you have asthma, you have your chest x-ray, it's normal. It's nothing wrong with your lungs. It's a problem of your bowels because the lining of your bowels is the same lining of your lungs. If your bowel is dirty, it produces a lot of mucus. It produces a lot of edema also and mucus in your lungs. You have a problem with your liver. You have a leaky gut syndrome. You have recurrent rhinitis, sinusitis that could not be healed. It's toxicity in your system. You clean up, heal your liver by eating right, and all the symptoms will just disappear if you don't need too much medication. Arthritis is very easy to cure. You have been suffering from arthritis. You have been taking a lot of NSAIDs. 20% of those in the dialysis center are people who have been taking a lot of non-steroidal anti-inflammatories because of joint pains. When joint pains is very easy to cure. Joint pain is acidity in the system. When you're eating a lot of acid food, you're eating a lot of rice, a lot of bread, a lot of fish, a lot of meat, it causes a lot of acidity and pain in your joints. Shift your diet to a more vegan diet, especially more greens. 2 weeks, you will notice the pain will start to subside. 1 month after, you will notice your gout arthritis will be gone. No more NSAIDs that destroys your kidneys. No more NSAIDs that causes bleeding in elderlies. No more NSAIDs that causes congestive heart failure. No more NSAIDs that would cause edema, because NSAIDs retain sodium. Once it retains sodium, it increases your blood volume, it increases your blood pressure. All this medication you are taking are causing a lot of damage, not only to your kidneys and even your liver. Very simple. All these problems that you experience, these are the body's attempt to get rid of a toxin. Example, doon sa anniversary ng church ninyo, may sobrang spaghetti, dinala mo sa bahay. The next day, hindi maganda yung pagkahitap mo. Mayroong salmonella. Pagkain mo ng spaghetti na yon, you develop vomiting or diarrhea. Because the body could detect that there is a pathogenic bacteria inside you that could potentially destroy you. The body would like to get rid of that. Vomiting or diarrhea. Vomiting or diarrhea. Diarrhea and vomiting is not a disease. That's the body's attempt to protect itself from something that would potentially destroy it. Mayroong virus pumunta sa ilong mo. What would your body do when it detects the virus? It would sneeze it out. Hatching. Kaya lahat ng may liver problem, the toxin could not be removed. The toxin comes into the mucosal lining. When you wake up in the morning, hatching ng hatching. Walang katapusang hatching. It's because the liver is diseased, it could not remove the toxin. May virus, hatching ka. The body could not remove the virus from hatching. The body will go into excretion phase. You will have coryza or running nose. Hindi matanggal sa running nose ang coryza, your body would go into reaction phase. Fever comes so that the body could protect itself from the multiplication of the virus, and the immune response acts better at higher temperatures. These are attempts. All the symptoms of sickness and disease are the body's attempt to protect itself from a toxin that could potentially destroy it. So if you put in the right nutrients and remove the toxins that would potentially destroy it, you will heal from every problem. What is diabetes type 2 or insulin-dependent diabetes? Your insulin levels are normal, but this insulin could not be used by the body because the receptors that would allow the glucose to go inside the cell are blocked because of toxicity. Because you eat a lot of pork. Don't you know that your insulin is taken from pork? Lahat ng ini-injection mo, insulin, galing sa baboy yan. Kaya if you read Isaiah 65, eating pork is an abomination to God. It's equated to witchcraft and sorcery. Isaiah 65 verse 3, you are a people who continuously provoke me to my very face. The Lord says, eating pork is an abomination to Him. That's why every New Year, if you notice, January 2, 3, fully booked ang tanan na hospital. When my daughter was at St. Luke's Global on a residency and my son, they could not come home for the holidays. Me and my wife goes to Manila. At least we could have a bonding together. My children would usually tell us, Papa, we could not leave the hospital. It would take sometimes 6 hours for a patient to be seen in the emergency room because of the queue. Why? Christmas time, there is a massacre of pigs. Every Christmas party is with lechon, with all the chicken. After the holidays, a lot of drinking, a lot of meat, a lot of pork. Our hospitals are fully booked, when you could always prevent it. So did I answer your question, Pastor? Only the fish with scales are allowed. But if you really want to be healthy, if you want to live long, you want to live 120, eat raw fruits and vegetable diet alone. Go to how you were designed. You will notice you will look younger, it will be much lighter, you will have more energy, and you will live longer.
Doc, we have here some written questions. Ang una, paano natin ma-prevent ang stroke? What can you advise?
Sabi ko, it's an hour of lecture, but I will just give you a bird's eye view of what stroke and heart attack is all about. Why is it that animals don't get heart attack, but people do? Bakit yung mga hayop walang stroke and heart attack? But there are 4 species of animals that have stroke. Chimpanzees and orangutans, guinea pigs, a fruit bat in India, and Homo sapiens. Unfortunately, we are one of those who develop heart attack and stroke. The book of veterinary pathology, if there is a veterinary medicine doctor here, is as thick as this. The discussion on cardiovascular diseases is only 1 page. And the author of the book was saying, all the physiologic mechanism that causes heart attack and stroke is present in animals. But why is it that animals don't get heart attack, but people do? If the reason why animals don't get heart attack, but people do, could be found, it could shed light to human misery. That was 1965 when the book was written. Now we have the answer to that observation. Why is it that the polar bears, they have cholesterol of 1,200 milligrams per deciliter? They are not extinct until now, and there is never single polar bear that dies because of heart attack and stroke when their cholesterol is 1,200 milligrams per deciliter. Walang atake. During the time of travels, Magellan and all the other, many sailors die in long travels because of external and internal bleeding. And they found out that the bleeding was caused by the lack of vitamin C. It was called scurvy. Nung mga elementary pa po tayo, every time we brush our teeth, we have bleeding gums. We are usually told, you lack vitamin C. You take more vitamin C. Because vitamin C is needed in the production of your collagen fibers. These are the reinforcement bars of your blood vessel wall. Captain Cook is very famous. He defeated the Spanish Armada without firing a single cannon. Namamatay lahat ang mga sailors. But Captain Cook, all his men survived long journeys because he was fond of bringing lime into the ship. That's why the Navy of the United Kingdom is called limes, taken from the word lime. They did not know then that it was the vitamin C in lime that was preserving them from dying because of bleeding. If you lack vitamin C is needed in the production of your collagen fibers. Collagen fibers are the reinforcement, these are the steel bars of your blood vessels. These are the steel bars of your skin. That's why most of these celebrities, they inject collagen. You have a lot of collagen powders that are being taken in by women who like to look young. Expensive collagen powders. If you lack vitamin C, there is a lack of collagen fibers. If there is lack of collagen fibers, there is something that is called a subclinical scurvy. There is no longer frank scurvy during our time because we could get a little vitamin C here and there. But we have subclinical scurvy. We develop cracks in our blood vessel wall. When the body detects the crack, the brain signals the liver to produce a very sticky lipoprotein A, which is carried by your LDL or your bad cholesterol. They are used to patch up the crack. Too much compensatory mechanism causes blockade or atherosclerosis. If cholesterol is the cause of heart attack and stroke, they tell you it makes your blood viscous. It sticks in your blood vessel wall. Why is it that in the 60,000-mile-long blood vessels, there is no such thing as a foot attack or a finger attack? Why is it when there is much pressure, the occlusion is there? If it is the cholesterol that sticks, it should not stick on the blood vessel, like the coronary arteries, which is the first branch of your aorta, where there is too much pressure. Coronary arteries, carotid artery, and the cerebral artery. These are the arteries that are exposed to too much pressure. If the cholesterol is the cause that it sticks into your blood vessel wall, why is it that it sticks in the blood vessels that have the highest pressure? When there is a river and there are dirt in the source of the river, the dirt would not stick there. It would be at the tip of the river when there is less pressure. Why is it that there is no venous sclerosis? There is no atherosclerosis in the veins when it's the same blood that passes through our arteries and the veins. And when the vein is transferred to her heart for a bypass, it develops atherosclerosis a matter of time if the patient would not change the lifestyle. Heart attack and stroke is not caused by cholesterol. Heart attack and stroke is caused by the lack of vitamin C. Why is it that we humans and chimpanzees and a fruit bat in India and guinea pigs do not have vitamin C? We no longer have the enzyme alpha-gulonolactone oxidase that converts glucose to vitamin C. That's why you have to take it from the outside. That's why you have to change your lifestyle. Because the highest and the most abundant source of vitamin C is not lemons or calamansi, it's green leafy vegetables. Pichay, kangkong, alugbate, pako, malunggay, all the greens. Udlot ng ampalaya, udlot ng cucumber, udlot ng lahat ng mga greens. These are the highest form of vitamin C. If you give yourself the right amount of vitamin C, slowly your body will develop the collagen fibers. And when the intima of the blood vessels are healed, slowly the body will exude those atherosclerotic plaques, bring it back to the liver for metabolism, and you could bypass by just high dose of vitamin C. Why is it that the big pharmas are not telling you about this? Because if you take high dose of vitamin C, not any one of you will be drinking your Imdor, your antihypertensive medications. No more bypass. You could bypass by just high dose of vitamin C. Doc, how high is high? I am taking 8 to 10,000 vitamin C a day because I would like to live 110. Tinanggal ko na yung 10 because I was a heavy smoker before. So 120. I take high dose. I'm a cancer patient. I have to remove all the dirt from my system. The minimum that I gave my patients is 3,000 milligrams or 3 grams of vitamin C a day. There are 3 kinds of vitamin C. The very cheap ascorbic acid. Vitamin C appears in our body as ascorbates, either of sodium, calcium, magnesium, or potassium. There are a lot of sodium ascorbates in the market. I am not here to advertise any product, but I would advise that you look for calcium ascorbate, because you could always find sodium in your cooking. Sodium is the most abundant mineral in all the vegetables. Kaya palaging sinasabi nila, huwag kang kumain ng durian pag high blood ka. Sabi ko, anong problema sa durian? Bakit ayaw? Bakit hindi? Huwag masyadong marami. Ako, nakakaubos ako ng 7 kilo ng durian in one setting. Doon sa Magsaysay, every time I come to Davao, sa Magsaysay. Pero nagtataka doon yung nagbebenta ng durian, dahil ang partner pala ng durian sa Davao, soft drinks. Durian has very high sodium. If you are hypertensive, you pump in a lot of sodium, you increase your blood volume, you increase your blood pressure. Kakain ka ng durian, hypertensive ka, huwag marami. Pero hindi nakaka-high blood yon. Pag marami, nakaka-high blood. Anything in moderation will be fine with us. Calcium ascorbate would be the best source of vitamin C. But the most expensive is ascorbyl palmitate, the fat-soluble vitamin C. Because vitamin C is water-soluble, any excess, you pee it, but the ascorbyl palmitate, it is absorbed in your fats, your body needs it, your fat tissues release it. High dose, minimum of 3,000 if you want to maintain your health. But if you are a cancer patient, I give as high as 8 to 10 grams or 10,000 milligrams per day. If you have atherosclerosis, you were told to have a bypass. You start it slow. Start with 1 gram. After 3 days, make it 2 grams. After a week, make it 3 grams. Make it 4, make it 5, make it 6. If you have your bowels tolerance, meaning you develop low stools, reduce it with 1 gram first. Then continue with that dose. When the body is starting to clean up, because vitamin C is one of the most potent scavenger, it cleans your body. Increase it again until such time that you could have 10 grams or 10,000 milligrams per day. Calcium ascorbate, potassium ascorbate, or magnesium ascorbate would be the best source of vitamin C. But if you have increased creatinine, or if you are an elderly, 80 years old and above, you have never taken vitamin C, you don't have to take high dose of that. Because vitamin C is very potent scavenger, it overloads your kidneys. So if you have a kidney problem, start it low. Start it low. Low, not high. But if your creatinine is normal, you have no problems with your kidneys, start tapering it. Go up until you could go to 10,000 to 15,000 milligrams per day. That's what we need. I take 2 grams. Ascorbic acid, no. Because ascorbic acid, the vitamin C ascorbic acid is very, very erosive to your gastric mucosa. If you take 5,000 milligrams of ascorbic acid, you will harm your mucosal lining of your stomach. I do not suggest, although it's very cheap, about 2 pesos and 70 centavos, it's very, very erosive to your gastric mucosa. Take the ascorbate. I would suggest look for calcium ascorbate. Do you divide it? It's better if you divide it so that you will not be wasting it in your urine.
Okay, we have a lot of questions but we do not have a lot of time. So we'll just select some of the important question. Yung iba po ay nasagot na. Okay, good news. We still have an hour po. Doc, there are lots of vegetables in the market. Some are covered with wax. Is it safe? What are we going to do pagkain man ng gulay na may mga pesticides?
Number 1, plant your own food. That's why I'm a farmer. I am a natural farmer. I don't use pesticides. We don't use insecticides. We don't use inorganic fertilizers. We convert our waste into takakura or organic fertilizer. We would like to help the garbage problem of our municipality by converting it to fertilizer. Plant your own food. Second, if you could not plant your own food, know the farmers that are feeding you. Dapat alam mo saan galing ang gulay na kinakain mo. Buti pa yung sasakyan natin. Pag magpapagasolina po tayo, naghahanap tayo ng clean diesel. Ayaw natin yung third player dahil hindi maganda, hindi malinis. Pero yung may-ari ng sasakyan, walang pili ang pinapasok sa loob. No, the farmers, this is the time for us to share the gospel. I don't grow ampalaya in my farm. I only grow more greens. So I have to look for the ampalaya growers within the 100 kilometers where I live. Tinuturuan ko sila, dapat walang chemicals. Hindi na nag-spray yung mga farmers ngayon. Meron sila kinakat nila yung 1.5 liters na soft drink bottle. They put in the concentrated pesticide. They soak every ampalaya one at a time. So pag sinasabihan ko ng farmer noon, baka sira yan sa inyo. Sabi ko, Dok, malulugi kami pag hindi kami gumamit ng Pero sabi ko, yung sa pamilya mo, wag mong isok. So pagpunta ako doon, may dala akong tinapay, may dalang 3-in-1 coffee or whatever you could bring. Sabi ng farmer, Doktor, ito yung hindi ko itinubog sa pesticide, ito yung kunin mo. Nagiging kaibigan mo na sila. They would tell you which is clean. You could share to them. They become your friends because they are the ones feeding you. Visit them. Know what they are doing so that you will know what you are eating. If you could not do that, you buy the vegetables in the market, all I do is to clean it well. Clean it well in running water. If you are suspecting of sprays and chemicals, soak it in vinegar water. You put 3 tablespoons of vinegar to your basin. You soak it for 20 minutes. If you are suspecting of a bacteria, you put it a little salt, about 3 tablespoons of salt. But if you have the money, you could buy an ozone machine. Or a Kangen machine could produce water that is pH 2. It would kill all the bacteria. And the pH 9 to 11 would oxidize all the chemicals in your vegetables. But eating vegetables that are not grown organically is better than eating pork and eating animal proteins. Mas maganda na yung gulay kisa hotdog. Yung iba kasi ayoko kumain ng gulay dahil marumi, hotdog na lang kami at saka baboy. Mas maganda na yung gulay. Pero pinakabaganda talaga if we plant our own food. I only eat what I grow in my farm.
Next question, Doc. Meron akong vertigo. How do we cure vertigo?
Vertigo or dizziness or sometimes yung nila nga duog-duog, para kang nagsakay ka og bangka. It is accompanied with nape pains, sakit sa likod. Sometimes there are frozen shoulders. Hoy-hoy ang mga kamot. Dali magalit. Mabait pero madaling mairita. These are problems of toxicity. If you have a liver problem, you will have dizziness. If you have liver problem, you will have vertigo. Eating a lot of acid food also blocks the capillaries of your vestibular mucosa. It causes a lot of zzz and vertigo or dizziness. Alkalinize your diet by eating alkaline food. Alkaline food is fruits and vegetables. The very alkaline is your green leafy vegetables. You will heal your liver. You will remove all those humming sounds in your ears. You will remove your irritability. You will remove your chronic fatigability. You will remove the hypertension that is only about 160 over 110, 150 over 90. All this hypertension that are only as high as 160, these are liver problems. Once you heal the liver, you heal the hypertension. That's why there is also a cure for hypertension. You develop asthma when you have a liver problem. You develop recurrent sinusitis, phlegm, headache, migraine, all this stuff. All these are toxicity in your system. Once you eat right, you clean your liver, everything would be okay. Doctor, what is the fastest way to detoxify? I was telling the other pastors earlier this afternoon, fasting is the best way to detoxify. Pag-aayuno, puasa, ang pinakamagandang detoxification. When you do a fast, it's an organ holiday. Pinapagbakasyon po ninyo ang liver nyo. Pinapagbakasyon nyo yung pancreas ninyo. Pinapagbakasyon nyo yung digestive system ninyo. Your body would heal when you keep it rested. Fasting, a lot of water, a lot of green leafy vegetables, it will detoxify you, it would heal your liver.
Thank you, Doc. Another question. What can you advise to women who are undergoing premenopausal syndrome?
Number one, you should have sex with your husbands. Sex would control the imbalance in the hormones. Imbalance in the hormones is because of hormone disruptors. Chicheria, artificial flavors, artificial colors, preservatives, milk, broiler chicken, pork, beef coming from abroad. The lot-fed beef have a lot of veterinary estrogens. It causes a very stormy transition from a reproductive age to a menopausal age. It causes a lot of symptoms. It's toxicity. It's a liver problem. It's an unhealthy lifestyle. You want to be free of that? Change your eating pattern. Remove all the chemicals from your diet, and your transition to menopause will not be stormy.
Thank you, Doc. Another question. Nag-e-exercise ako, hindi man ako pinapawisan. Tama ba ang aking exercise? Ano ang aking gagawin?
Papawisan ka lang kung umabot ang heart rate mo to 160 to 180 while you are exercise. If you do a slow walking, you will not perspire. But if you increase your speed and your heart rate starts to rise up to at least 140 to 180, that will be the time that you start perspiring. Notice it. Have an early morning walk, you will not perspire. But if you run a bit, let's say you run for about 100 or 200 meters, you will notice that you will start to perspire. So, brisk walking, increase your speed, so that you will increase your heart rate, you will start to perspire.
Thank you, Doc. Another question. I have prostate problem. Pero nagpa-prostate biopsy po ako and the result is not cancerous or nor it is benign. Do I need to maintain the tamsulosin and finasteride na reseta ng doktor?
Enlargement of the prostate usually is a liver problem. Palaging atay talaga ang problema. Especially if you are sexually active. The raw materials for the production of your sex hormones is coming from the liver. It's coming from the food you eat. If there is a demand for sex hormones and there is less production of the raw materials, you enlarge the prostate gland. Just like when you lack iodine, you enlarge your thyroid gland. Because there is a demand for the thyroid hormone, there is a signal from your pituitary gland to produce more thyroid hormone. Parang factory. There is a demand for t-shirts. Increase the factory. Pero kulang ang raw material. Wala din. Increase. Pero walang nangyayari. Kulang raw mats. Lumatalakay ang prostate gland natin. That's why 55% of males above 50 develop enlargement of their prostate. Because they lack zinc. They don't eat the right food. They lack the cholesterol that is used to produce the sex hormones. Because of the males now are given statins to lower their cholesterol. Most of them will develop enlargement of their prostate. So, solution, eat right. Supplement your diet with zinc, vitamin E, and the best herb that would help your prostate is sopalmito. You look for sopalmito, you increase your zinc and your vitamin E, which comes from your red vegetables and fruits, like tomatoes and watermelons. You will start to heal your prostate gland. The worst that you can do to your prostate, especially if it's cancerous, is to have a biopsy. It would open up the capsule. It would make those cancer cells spread. Prostate cancer is not a very dangerous form of cancer. I never had a patient with prostate cancer that dies because of prostate cancer. It's very easy to control as long as the patient eats right. Hindi po nakakatakot masyado yun. Napakadali po magpalit ng prostate. Pag meron kayong prostate problem, your tamsulosin and your Harnal do not help, eat right. If eating right could not help you, we have a clinic here in Davao. You could see our doctors here. Or you could see me in my Cebu clinic. Napakadali po magpaliit ng prostate. It's not a problem. It's very easy to cure.
Thank you, Doc. Para naman, problema ng mga hindi magkaanak. How to address PCOS leading to infertility in women, the polycystic ovarian syndrome.
We have helped a lot of women na walang anak. The oldest is Dr. Asis sa Dipolog. They owned a hospital before. Dr. Asis is a pediatrician. The wife was an OB-gynecologist, Ophelia Asis. They were childless for 14 years. I saw them. Natulungan namin sila. Nakagawa kami ng isa. In fact, 12 years old na. The name is Homeo because it was homeopathy na nakatulong sa kanila. They have to close their hospital. He's one of us now in integrative medicine. We have helped a lot. I have about 142 childless couples, 9 years, 7 years, 11 years, childless. Change of diet pa rin. Remove the hormone disruptors. Remove the chicken, remove the pork, remove the corned beef and all this. Start eating right. If the problem is structural, you have an infantile uterus, your fallopian tubes are blocked, there's nothing that we can do. But if the problem is hormonal, we could help you. May mga lalaki din, mga semen. If I have 10 infertility problems at saka lalaki may problema, 8 of them are working as mariners or seaman because the GPS, there are males who are very sensitive to electromagnetic frequencies. It destroys their gonads. Kaya may mga seaman ang walang mga anak pag sensitive yung lalaki sa radiation. So pag gano'n, mayroon din mga lalaki na azoospermic, meaning since birth, wala silang sperm. Or nagkaroon silang mumps infection that affects the testicles, nasisira yung mga cells that produces the sperm, nagkakaroon ng infertility problems. We could help these cases as long as they are not structural. Pagkain pa rin, it boils down to eating what is right.
How do we know if it is structural, Doc?
An ultrasound could detect an infantile uterus. Dye being passed into your uterus would check the patency of your fallopian tube. These are diagnostic procedures that could be done that could see structural problems.
Thank you. Good evening, Doc. Naa pa po by chance na maging malinaw og balik among mata? Tama ba ang
What is the cause of the blurring of the vision? Is it catarata? Kung catarata talaga, batsyon na gani, you have to have it removed. Palitan ng bagong lente. Pero ang catarata ay mayroong kulang ang blood supply to the retina because you are diabetic. As I've said, vitamin C could help restore the blood flow into the capillaries that supplies the retina, and lutein is a very good, and bioflavonoids are very good supplements that could help your eyes.
Okay, Doc, mga short question. Doc, ang itima ng labi ko, sabi mo bawal ang lipstick. Ano na ang gagawin ko?
You look for a lipstick that is mercury-free. Merong mga companies that are producing lipsticks that are mercury-free. If not, yung ibang babae, di ba, nagpapatattoo na lang? Tattoo. No, tattoo is not good. There are lipstick that that are mercury-free. If you could not help really but wear those lipsticks.
Another, Dok, sabi nila masama ang kumain ng munggo kasi maraming uric acid. Totoo ba ito?
Mayroon pong mga vegetables that are very high in purines. Munggo is one of those because it's part of the legumes or leguminous family. Lahat yung bipods, munggo, soya, beans, peanuts, napakataas po ang purines. Nakakapagpataas po yon ng uric acid if you have a problem with your liver. Together with the legumes, you also have your nightshades or your solanaceous vegetables. Eggplants, tomatoes, pepper, potatoes, cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower. These are solanaceous vegetables, very high in purines. It causes gouty arthritis if you have a problem in your liver. But if you are a vegan, and if you have a liver problem, those kinds of vegetables are the best source of plant proteins that would really help us. You could eat them if you don't have concerns with your arthritis. If you have arthritis, you eat right. If the inflammation is too bad, turmeric is one of those that helps reduce the inflammation. You could have turmeric every day. Luya with turmeric would be fine. But eating munggo would be very, very helpful. But if you have concerns with your uric acid metabolism, wag muna. Concentrate muna on green leafy vegetables. When your liver is healed, you could start to incorporate munggo and beans in your diet. It will not cause arthritis.
Thank you, Doc. Can hawthorn and HPN drug mix together?
Hawthorn is good for the heart. It's an herb that is good for the heart. But there are some herbs that could not be used together with other synthetic medication. Although these drug interactions are too many, I could not really memorize all of them. But especially for MAO inhibitors, there are a lot of herbs that affects or interacts with it, especially anxiolytics and antidepressants. They are supposed to be mixed with some herbs. But generally, you could take herbs together with other medications. Except for a few, I could not really answer that question, but I could not memorize the kind of medication that is being mentioned there. But there are some drug interactions in some herbs and drugs.
Another, Doc, what can you say about plant-based stem cell like apple stem cell as regenerative medicine?
I have the Labdome, or the one that makes the stem cells all over the world. He's a Malaysian millionaire. He's a friend of mine. I was invited to Kota Kinabalu, which is the center of their storage of their stem cells for China and Asia. One time, he was telling me that they could reverse even mongoloid children. It could be normalized by giving human stem cells. I was asking Michael, how do you produce these specific human stem cells? He said, you know, doctor, if you are saving lives, sometimes morals are supposed to be shelved to the side. In Europe, especially the former Soviet Union countries, abortion is legal. What we do, we have some agents in these abortion centers. They talk to the mothers who are planning to have abortion. We pay them a sum of money until the child would be 8 months old. When the child is 8 months old, the abortion is done, and we harvest the organs for specific stem cells. It's murdering the babies to produce the human stem cells. That's why human stem cells are very expensive. Because of this prohibitive cost, they use black sheep, now they use rabbits, and some uses apple stem cells, plant-based stem cells. I am a naturalist. I know for what is natural. I don't really advise people being given animal stem cells. Hindi po tayo ginawa para lagyan ng rabbit stem cell or sheep stem cell or other forms of stem cell. When our body could regenerate, when we just put in the right information that the body needs. When I learned how these stem cells are being produced, I don't want to be a part of their business. So kaya pala, every time I was invited to Kuta Kinabalu, palagi akong hindi natutuloy, mayroon palang rason ang Panginoon. There was one time we're already in the airport, we're supposed to fly, yung misis ko, yung isang doktor kong anak, and all the other doctors invited. I was the only one left behind. Dahil yung visa ko, 1 week na before 6 months ang expiration. Sabi sa akin ng airline company, "Sir, you could not be in this flight because your visa is less than 6 months. Kaya pala hindi ako pinapapunta doon ng Panginoon. Second time pinupunta ko doon, na late po ako, hindi ako nakasakay. So hindi talaga ako pinapapunta doon because the way they produce these stem cells, they are murdering our babies. So I don't really go for even plant stem cell. I don't even go for animal stem cells. The head of Ananda Marga in India was once our patient. He was a vegan, stress-free life, complete vegan, but he developed teratoma in the nasal mucosa. We were trying to dig up the history of the patient. The only thing that we could suspect, there, the head of of this Hare Krishna had a stem cell 15 years before he developed the cancer. So we were suspecting that the cancer, the teratoma, was caused by the black sheep stem cell that was injected to him because they wanted him to live long. So that was our suspicion. So ako po ay binabantayan ko po yung mga tao that I know na tumanggap ng stem cells, human or it could be animal stem cell, because it's a matter of time. Sana hindi they will develop cancer somewhere, especially teratoma.
Thank
So
you.
I do not advise, personally, I do not advise stem cells. I advise eating right. Besides, stem cells are expensive. You eat right. You want to regenerate, you eat more greens. Number one secret for women, you don't want to grow old. The last conference that we have in Japan, one of the cause of aging is carbohydrates. You want to look young, remove rice from your diet. You want to look young, remove the bread from your diet, and you will really look young. Number one cause of aging is carbo, the lack of sleep. The simple secrets for beauty. You sleep early, have sex, vitamin C, hydrate yourself with water, and you will have a good skin, and young-looking skin.
Another, Doc, unsay cure sa spinal cord na masakit? Spinal cord.
Spinal cord, spinal column. Spinal cord is the brain inside your vertebra where your nerves get out. Depende po kung ang sakit is a joint pain, is it osteoarthritis, it is gouty arthritis, it depends. Our lumbar vertebra, that's why usually we have back pains because these are the group of joints that are is so much stressed. Sa nag-upisa dito yung pain, back pain. Usually it's acidity in the system. As I've said, you eat more greens, you drink more water. Slip disc is the lack of water. You could remove the slip disc by drinking 5 to 6 liters of water a day. So if you have pain because of a slip disc, or if you have pain because of acidity in the system, you eat more green leafy vegetables, eat more turmeric or drink more turmeric. On a daily basis, you will remove the pain in your back.
How to cure hemorrhoids in a natural way?
Hemorrhoids is a liver problem. Varicosities is a liver problem. Because if your liver is congested, your portal circulation would increase in pressure. Your hemorrhoidal artery and your hemorrhoidal vein, your esophageal artery and your esophageal veins, kaya minsan mayroong esophageal varices or bleeding or hemorrhoids. These are the communication of your portal hemorrhoidal arteries and veins. Kung increase ang portal pressure mo, lalaki po yung hemorrhoids mo. heal your liver. It would release the portal hypertension. Free yourself from constipation. Eat a lot of fibers, drink a lot of water. You will heal your hemorrhoids, and you will even release your varicosities, because this is also the lagging behind of the blood because of increased pressure in your liver.
Is it okay to drink decaf coffee, Doc?
If you want to drink coffee, it's better to drink the brewed coffee, because you apply a lot of sulfides or chemicals to decaffeinate the coffee. Why do you have to drink coffee if you drink it decaffeinated? Wala na yun. Coffee is good, it has an antioxidant property, but you only have to have at least 400 milligrams of caffeine per day. 1 cup of coffee is equivalent to 200 milligrams of caffeine, meaning you could only have the most in a day is 2 cups. 2 cups of coffee. Because if you increase your coffee intake, too much coffee or caffeine is neurodegenerative. It destroys the neurons of your brain. That's why coffee drinkers who abuse coffee, they easily or early develop dementia and Alzheimer's, because it destroys the neurons, the caffeine. Even tea, when you drink a lot of it, even chocolates or sikwati, too much of it. That's why the name of the game is always in moderation. Even if it's beneficial, if you drink a lot of it, it is neurodegenerative. Just like dahon ng guayabano. Because dahon ng guayabano is good for cancer. Many of my patients are drinking dahon ng guayabano even if we don't have cancer. Meron silang rheuma, uminom ng dahon ng guayabano. Meron silang high blood, uminom ng dahon ng guayabano. It's not good if you don't have cancer, because the anonin, the active ingredients in the guayabano, which kills the cancer cells, the immature cells, is also neurodegenerative. Nakakasira ng neurons sa brain. So kung hindi mo kinakailangan, huwag kang uminom. Dahil sa panahon na mangailangan ka, hindi natatalab sa iyo yun. Tsaka nakakasira kung marami ang iinumin mo. Always in moderation.
This question. Hello? Hello. Okay, Doc, this question is about thyroid cancer. She said, in 2015, I was diagnosed to have thyroid cancer, and I undergone surgery and radiation. My doctor gave thiodine. My doctor gave thiodine 150 milligrams 6 times a day, and she said this is for life. Now, after the radiation, she recommended second time radiation treatment. I did not submit to this anymore. After that, I did not go back to my doctor again, but I continue my medication up to this present time. Am I doing the right thing? And
Once your thyroid has been removed, and once you have undergone radioactive iodine ablation, there is a need for you to take your thyroid hormone supplementation. You have to take it for life because they have removed your thyroid gland. But since you are a cancer patient, you really have to change your lifestyle. Because if you will not change your lifestyle, thyroid cancer is caused by toxicity. The first organ is affected by toxins is your thyroid gland. Clean up. Even if you have been irradiated with radioactive iodine to kill all the metastatic thyroid cells, you still have to clean up because there might be some thyroid cells that are left behind. It will come into remission, it will come back again. I have a patient who have undergone chemotherapy because of thyroid cancer. After the chemotherapy and radiation, the radioactive iodine, the cancer, metastasizes to the brain and to the lungs. Another RIA was recommended. She did not went back to the doctor, came to see me, Mrs. Laurel of Hinunangan, Leyte. Now it has been 4 years from the time that she was told to die within 3 to 6 months. She's still alive until now, free, still doing better. But of course, he is a pure vegan, eating it raw.
Same question from the thyroid cancer concern. Doc, kung kami magpakonsulta sa iyo, saan ka namin ma-reach?
Mas maganda sa laga kung kakain kayo ng tama dahil mahal po kami na doktor. Mas maganda kung hindi kayo pumunta sa amin. But if there is a need for you to come and see us, although I give talks not to advertise our clinic, and since there was a question, we have a clinic here in Davao, being manned by one of those that I trained, Dr. Pacifico. It is located, I know it's near that entrance of that women's Huna subdivision. It's the house of one of the best cardiologists here in Davao. Big Sikuya is the artist, they own the house. It is where our clinic is located. I have clinics in Manila, I have a clinic in Cebu, I have a clinic in Tacloban. If you want to see me, we could meet in Cebu or we could meet in Manila. My clinic in Cebu is located sa Don Mariano Quay Street. If you are interested, I could give you a calling card later. It's across Chongwa Hospital before you reach the NBI or the Capitol building. 3 houses before the corner is our clinic in front of Cebu Our Hotel. My clinic in Manila is in Ayala, Alabang. It is the Maldigal Drive. It's a Westgate Tower. It's a tall 60-story building, 40-story building. We're at the upper ground floor. I also have a clinic in Rojas Boulevard, Marbella Condominium, room 711. I have a clinic in Tacloban, just in front of Robinson's mall, the Go Hotel in Tacloban. You could get my number, you could call me, but it's better if you could eat right so that you will not see me.
Okay, Doc. Another question. After a patch test, as recommended by an allergologist, my husband discovered that he has allergies on the following: vitamin C, like citrus, avocado, pork. These are aside from seafoods and chicken. May we know how to heal all these allergies? Can he still overcome this? He is already 50 now, and right now his skin is very dry as if scaling. What is the best thing to do to help him?
Eat the food that are not allergenic to you. Eat them raw. Drink a lot of water. Once your liver would heal, slowly all those allergenic substances that causes you to be allergic with will disappear. Marami pa akong mga pasyente allergic to shrimps, crabs, lobster. After we heal the liver, they are surprised that they could eat shrimps, crabs, and lobster again. But I don't recommend them to be eating all those things. Those allergies are toxicity in your system. Even some have with G6PD, they are not supposed to take vitamin C, high doses. So, remove the vitamin C first, start to eat what is right, and slowly you notice, you incorporate slowly your vitamin C, try to see whether you will react to it. If you have very dry, scaly skin, you start to use virgin coconut oil as your lotion. I use VCO as my deodorant. I use it for my oil pulling or my astringent. I use it for my hair. I use it for my skin. I use it before I wear my socks, before I wear my underwear. I drink it as an energy source. So if he has dry skin, virgin coconut oil could suit the dryness. He has to eat right. The liver should be detoxified. When the liver is cleaned up, all the allergens will be gone. She will not be having allergies to all those things.
Doc, can aortic aneurysm be cured by just eating right?
There are a lot of cases. I was talking with the owner of the hotel where I'm living, MX3, the mother. She was telling me that she has aneurysm in the brain that God healed her. If the aneurysm is very big, you really have to control your blood pressure. There is a number on the size of the aneurysm. It must be operated on. But if the aneurysm is not too big, vitamin C, lysine, and proline could help strengthen the walls of those aneurysm site, because aneurysm are weakness in the blood vessel wall. Kung sa tire pa sa interior ng bisikleta, mayroong manipis na area na kung lagyan mo ng hangin, parang mayroong weakness, mayroong thin area na parang gumaganon. Ganon ang aneurysm. If you give high dose of vitamin C, the amino acid lysine and proline, which is the component of your collagen fiber, kung hindi gaano malaki ang aneurysm, it could slowly strengthen the wall of that aneurystic site and could probably heal the aneurysm. But if the aneurysm is big, there are criteria for surgery. It's better if should be operated on because it's dangerous for an aneurysm to just explode.
A follow-up sa VCO, Doc, sa virgin coconut oil. Is taking virgin coconut oil with coffee okay with someone who has
Atherosclerosis.
Okay.
Virgin coconut oil is one of my main armamentarium for cancer. Because most cancer eats glucose. That's why 80% of cancer patients are diabetics. Because cancer thrives in high glucose level. That's why we advise cancer patients to go into a ketogenic diet. Zero carbo or no carbs. We give them the energy that they need by giving them a ketogenic diet, olive oil, avocados, nuts, seeds, virgin coconut oil. So I give my patients high dose of virgin coconut oil, 3 to 4 tablespoons per day. Most of my cancer patients are already 8 years, 10 years, still alive until now, taking VCO. I have never found any one of them with elevated cholesterol. The longer you take the VCO, the lower your cholesterol would be. It is beneficial for cancer patients. You could add VCO in your coffee. They call it power coffee because VCO has 9 calories that would give you energy. While carbo has 4, proteins has 4, VCO has 9. So it is a power drink. You add a tablespoon of VCO to your coffee. Drinking VCO will not cause atherosclerosis. As I have said, atherosclerosis is caused by the lack of vitamin C. You could drink VCO. It's one of the things that I give for elderlies. If you are 65 years old and above, you have dementia, you have Alzheimer's, you have Parkinson, you have yung neurodegenerative diseases, the number one cure is virgin coconut oil or MCT, mid-chain triglycerides. Your virgin coconut oil is MCT. It helps nerve problems and brain problems. So don't worry, you could take your virgin coconut oil.
Do you believe cannabis is also effective way of curing cancer?
Cannabis oil helps cancer, but most of the beneficial effect of cannabis is for pain. Arthritic pains, you have all kinds of pains, cannabis oil would benefit you. Hashish oil, it helps cancer because it makes you sleep longer. It would give an anxiolytic effect. If you are a cancer patient, you have to sleep at least 9 hours a day because the longer you sleep, the higher is your immune response. Hashish or cannabis oil helps you sleep deeper and it removes the pain.
There are lots of wellness centers nowadays. Is it okay to undergo those kinds of treatment like Izumi, Seragem, etc.?
Yeah, those are all beneficial. Seragin would increase the temperature. It would dilate your blood vessels. It would increase the blood flow. If you have increased blood flow, it would increase the nutrients into the cells. It would help. Others have colonics. It could clean your bowels. As long as it is being done the right way, it benefits you. There are a lot of wellness centers doing a lot of things. Yeah, it will benefit you. But the best is changing your lifestyle, sleeping early, eating right, drinking the right amount of water, so that it will be less expensive for you.
Do you have a FB account? Can we be friends?
Come again?
May FB ka raw ba, Doc? Pwede kanyang maging kaibigan?
I have, my daughter made an FB account. But in our house, we don't watch TV. In our house, we don't have Wi-Fi. We live life simple. We sleep as early as we could. We only spend about 50 pesos per day for our meals because we eat greens. We don't buy at the grocery store. I don't know how to do computer. But if you want, I have an account, Balay ni Tatay, Farm Resort. Balay ni Tatay is my farm. You could communicate me through Balay ni Tatay Farm Resort or Balay ni Tatay. You could see my picture when I was in college. That's my FB account. I seldom open it. I'm only opening it when I'm at the airport waiting for a delayed flight. That's the only time that I could open my Facebook. But you could call me. I could give you my calling card. You could call me anytime. But in my farm, Pastor Romy knows it. He has been there many times. There is no signal in my farm. But the time I get out of the farm, once I see your text or your call, I'll be calling back, as long as it's not late in the evening. So we could be friends, of course. Why not?
Thank you, Doc. My right adrenal gland has been removed due to tumor. Hindi ko maintindihan. Papilochronic cytoma? Will it affect my general health?
Of course, hypoaldosteronemia would affect. It affects the pituitary, thyroid, suprarenal, ovarian axis. Any imbalance in this axis causes a lot of damage to your hormonal balance. So if there's a tumor, it's better that it was removed, but you really have to have a change of lifestyle. A tumor is a wake-up call. A cyst is the body's attempt to isolate a toxin. Cancer doesn't develop in a month or two. There is what we call as a disease evolution table. The disease evolves through the years of chronic toxicity or chronic deficiency. If you have a cyst already, it's a wake-up call for you that something is very, very wrong. You really have to change your lifestyle. And the lifestyle change is the lifestyle that I told you. Go for your Eden diet, more on fruits and vegetables. Clean up. Have a fast if you could. I once had a German mentor. He was 88 years old in Stuttgart. In my last night in Germany, in his clinic, he invited me to a fine dining. While we were eating, the doctor told me, in your country, your people are poor. They could not really afford our homeopathic regimen. He said, there's one secret I would like to tell you. There is no disease that could not be cured by fasting. And if it could not be cured by fasting, it could not be cured in any other way. Meaning he was just emphasizing that fasting cures. Every time I feel that my symptoms of my cancer acts up again, I starve my cancer by doing a 40-day fast. I have done 3 40-day fasts in my life. You want to control your flesh? Fast. It's very hard for you to say no to a beautiful woman asking you for sex if you could not say no to a lechon in front of you. There's always a war between your spirit and your flesh. And we oftentimes make our flesh win. That's why Jesus once said, try to look for this narrow gate and crooked road that leads to life. Because wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and a multitude of people are in this broad way. We allow the devil to destroy us. Mas masarap kasi ang soft drinks kaysa tubig. Mas masarap ang adobong baboy kaysa adobong kangkong. Mas masarap ang brasos de Mercedes kaysa kamote na slice like brasos. Mas masarap daw ang babae na hindi misis kaysa kay misis. So all this leads to destruction. Now that you know that this Broadway will destroy you, when are you going to step out of the line and come into this narrow gate and crooked road that few would like to tread on? Minsan sabi kasi nila, Doktor, ang hirap kasi ng, hindi naman sinabing mahirap, sinabing crooked road, but hindi naman sinabi ng Biblia, it's a difficult road. It's a crooked road, but it's a road that would lead you to life. It's crooked. Not many goes to that crooked road. But it's a road that would make you healthy and would make you live long. Let's eat right and remove all those that causes cysts and cancer in our system.
A few more remaining questions, Doc. Sometimes I feel a sudden pain, specifically on my toes. They said it comes from my nerve, and I drink Parex every day.
Parex is a company. Baka paracetamol yun. Or pain reliever. Parex B complex. Yeah. You could take them. But it's better if you could choose a naturally produced multivitamins or B complex. Yung mga, baka magalit yung big pharmaceutical sa akin. Yung mga Centrum na yan, para sa manok lang yan, hindi para sa tao yan. Kaya mura sila. If you go to the States, $10 lang yan. Sometimes 12. Kung may sale, 10. $10 times 50, it's 500 pesos, 500 tablets. 1 peso lang yung cost niyan, isang Centrum Silver. Gumana na yung Trader's Joe, gumana na yung Kirkland that is distributing it, gumana na yung manufacturer. What is inside a 25 centavo Philippine money tablet? Kaya yung mga manok ngayon, hindi na daw gumagana yung Rebicon, yung Enerbon, yung Pharmaton, Centrum Silver na yung ginagamit yung mga sabungero. I was in Australia one time. I attended a convention on integrative medicine. There was a scientist who presented to us this study that in vitro, the cells, the human cells that was cultured, once exposed to synthetic vitamins, they do not absorb the vitamins. Alam ng katawan natin what is synthetic and what is not. At first, I do not believe because it was conducted in vitro. What if it's in vivo? But I was one time in Floro. There was a Saudi doctor who conducted on the study of chromium picolinate compared to this wheat germ, which is very high in chromium, treatment for diabetes. So he gave some patients chromium picolinate, examined their urine for urine challenge for the presence of chromium, and gave patients equivalent to the chromium milligrams giving wheat germ, which are very high in chromium. Examined the urine, she found out that aside from lowering the blood sugar, the chromium was positive, meaning it was eliminated in the urine of those given chromium picolinate. But there was no chromium in the urine of patients that were giving wheat germ. It only concretized my belief that synthetic vitamins are not absorbed. They are not absorbable by our bodies, but the chromium in wheat germ are absorbed in your system. It helps lower the sugar. It was not present in the urine challenge that was conducted in the study. So it's better that you choose the vitamins that you take. Malalaman mo man yun kung naturally produced ang vitamins. If you expose it to the elements of nature, it would not change its color, it would not change its smell. But the vitamins that are organic produced, nakalimutan mong inumin sa isang araw, the next day it turns black, it smells too bad, because it is pungent, it's live nutrition. So yung synthetic, walang change in color, walang change in smell, because they are synthetically produced, they are very, very cheap. So choose the vitamins that you take. There is a need for supplementation because the vegetables and the fruits that we eat are no longer produced the natural way. The vitamins, the fruits and vegetables is as good as the soil where they come from. That's why very, very important that we have to plant our own food and we have to do it the natural or organic way so that we could benefit from the vegetables that we take. You have to remember that from soil you were made and the soil in you should be nourished from the soil. Eating the real food would be the secret to good health.
What about baking soda and apple cider vinegar?
If you notice, apple cider vinegar, if you look at the ingredients, is pure potassium and distilled water. Apple cider vinegar will alkalinize your system because potassium is positive cation. It is an alkaline cation. So they give you a tablespoon of vinegar, a tablespoon of Epsom salt, or sodium bicarbonate. It's just all alkalinizing. Removes the pain, as I've said, because pains are acidity in the system. But what you do have to subsidize the apple growers in America when you could buy the calamansi from your calamansi growers here in Davao. Calamansi has a lot of magnesium, potassium, and all the other minerals that would act with the same way with your apple cider vinegar and your sodium bicarbonate. I usually take 30 to 40 calamansi when I wake up in the morning. It's one of my morning regimen. After I wake up, I pee, I do oil pulling with virgin coconut oil. I have a helper that prepares my calamansi. I take it without water and sugar. A glass full of calamansi will alkalinize my system. Then after a while, I do my coffee enema. I do coffee enema, labatiba ng kape, because I am a cancer patient. As I've said, I would like to clean up my system by coffee enema. I do coffee enema for the past 16 years. Even before I had the cancer, I was doing the coffee enema. I could not leave my house without the coffee in my butt. So, baliktad yun, Pastor.
Is
Not
it-
from the ash to us, but to the us.
Coffee
yung
enema? Is it brewed or Americano, Doc?
We just brew the coffee, filter it, about 3 tablespoons. If you're not sensitive to coffee, put it into an enema set, lukewarm. Put virgin coconut oil in your enema set, put it inside by gravity, you turn it on, hold it for about 5 to 10 minutes. And after 5 to 10 minutes, you sit in your throne and you do your enema. It would make you clean. We suggest it to cancer patients and those who would like to feel good and healthy, especially those who are obese. The coffee would increase your metabolic activity. It would really help you trim down, just like virgin coconut oil. If you take it before meals, it would satiate your satiation center. It would stop you from eating more carbo and also increases the metabolic activity of your body. Virgin coconut oil helps lower your weight. Sunlight helps lower your weight. Of course, walking and removing all the carbs would help you, and a coffee enema would also lower your weight.
How to heal eczema, glaucoma, cataract, Doc?
Eczema, as I've said, is the toxicity that the body would like to remove through the skin. If you heal the liver, you remove the eczema. All this boils down to vegetables and fruits, the right diet.
4 more questions. What can you say about Go, Grow, and Glow diet? Is it advisable?
Of course. Grow, but no animal proteins. There are advocates of ketogenic diet, but most of them crashes after 6 months. Got a lot of patients of ketogenic diet, but they crash in 6 months' time. Of course, they lose weight, but since the fat source is coming from animal source, unlimited bulalo, unlimited chicharon, unlimited animal protein, 0 carbs, 6 to 8 months, they crashes. They have a lot of problems. Of course, they trim down. They lower their weight because there is no carbo. But they feel so bad after 6 to 8 months. If you want to go for a ketogenic diet, make your fat source plant-based and your protein source plant-based as well. It would help you trim down. It would make you healthy.
Doc, pag merong toxic goiter, anong medicine or vitamin?
As I've said, toxicity, the first organ is affected is the thyroid. Change your diet. But of course, you stop eating sea vegetables like lato, lokot, guso, because if you're hyperthyroid, you'll increase the hyperthyroid by adding more iodine into your system. Walang iodized salt, wala munang sea vegetables. Clean up. Clean the liver. Once the toxin is gone, the toxicity of the thyroid will slowly disappear.
I think
But
this,
if the toxicity is too high, come and see us so that we could detoxify you faster before it really harms you. It causes a lot of palpitations, it causes a lot of sleepless nights, it causes elevation of your blood pressure, it causes a lot of symptoms that you could not tolerate. Come and see us. We will be able to help you.
is there any integrative or complementary doctor that you can recommend? I think that.
As I've said, we have a clinic here in Huna subdivision.
And last question, Doc. What is the best daily routine to achieve a healthy lifestyle? What is your routine that we can?
That's why I was
that
telling
can
you,
share?
As much as possible, I get home at 7, I have to be in bed at 8 or 8:30 when I'm not traveling. I have fun with my wife, monogamous sex at least 2 times a week, sleep early. When I wake up in the morning, I do my oil pulling, I take my calamansi, I do my coffee, I do my early morning walk, an exposure to sunlight, at least 2 hours of walking, 10,000 steps a day. I eat raw when I'm in the house. We juice them, we blend them. I do coffee enema, but most importantly, the Word, to make us stress-free. I surrendered my life to Jesus. Death is no longer something that makes me afraid of. That's the thing that I do to my cancer patients who are in the pre-departure area. End-of-life management, we try to teach them how to expect death with jubilant expectation. Death is not something that we have to fear. Death is something that we have to expect with joy, because the transition to a better world is not something that we have to fear. It's something that we have to expect with jubilant expectation. So that's why I do. Then I try to remove all those that stresses me. There are studies, Cambridge study in sociology, that tells you that out of the 100 people you know, 25% of them will not like you no matter what you do. Sometimes it's your relative, a brother, you have helped them, but still they say bad things. They do a lot of bad things against you. Forget about them. Don't explain your side to them. Don't try to win them to your side. They could never ever win you. Forget about them. Do not let other people's lives affect your joy. But there will be 25% of people who will like you no matter who you are, no matter what you do. They will stand by your side. Spend your time with this kind of people. 50% don't like you now, later they will like you. 50% like you now, later they will not like you. Befriend them. Solomon, Proverbs 4:23. Learn how to guard your heart, because from there is the issues of life. Learn to guard your heart, because it dictates the course of your destiny. Eating right, thinking right, believing right. That's my lifestyle.
Maraming pong salamat,
Thank
Dr.
you po.
Floro, Camenforte. Palakpakan natin ang Panginoon.